Alright folks, we're going to take a look at the Mimar today, the jet fan I call it. But first we're going to do a little spin down. I have to shut this down to do that video anyway. This is the lovely Burns Air King. Stand fan only, no handle, no feet, no nothing. It's a true stand fan, and we're going to spin down high on this thing. I love this thing. Oiled it up before we ran it this summer. You run oil them before, at the beginning of the year, end of the year kind of deal. Is usually what I do. Never took this motor apart. This fan came to me the way it is. A little debango in the back there. You can see it's a little bent, but you know, this was in a church. I found this at a church sale, estate sale, for they were emptying all kinds of stuff. The only thing really worth money were some of those needle games, you know, the round needle board, you know, random game things, the old hand-painted type stuff. But, you know, the collectors that really sell and make money collecting, they get to that stuff right first. That's what they're looking for. So anyway, there's the Burns Air King. Let's take a look at the Mimar. So here's the Mimar. This is set for a year. I never really used this last year. Used it a bunch of the year before when I found it. And this one, if you recall from the video, this is the larger size of the Mimar. They also come in brown, marked often Kenmore, but this is a Mimar by the company Mimar, and they made fans for Kenmore. It's a 2-speed, high and low, as you see. It's on the larger round base. So this is the 10-inch. I don't know what the sizes are. It don't really matter to me. I like the bigger one. They make an even larger one that doesn't even have the round external trundle handle, and those are neat too. I'd love to find one of those, but they're exceptionally rare. I bet those things are animals, because this thing is an animal. Now, how is it held up? This was totally stuck when I got it. There was like vice grips on the shaft. The blades were off, kind of just sitting on it, and the motor was totally stuck, and it took a lot of PB Blaster and WD-40 to get it freed up. And I never got the motor apart because it's in this crazy housing that was really impossible to get the screw and bolts off of. Not this side, but the other side. I just had all this trouble with it. There was no way to get the motor out and get the motor apart. I was only able to get this off, and I think oil from the back, and there is another one of these on the front, but you can't get to it because of the blade housing. There's openings, but you can't flip up the little deal, right? So you have to take the blade off anyway. I'm going to put oil in the back. If I remember correctly, the front never even took any oil. Like one of them got all stopped up. You know how sometimes there's like air in there or something and they won't take oil? Let's see if we can get a little oil in the back here. But again, it doesn't matter because, you know, the front needs oil too and whatever. But I'm not going to take it apart. We're just going to put a little oil in the back anecdotally and then run it. So all I can really do here is just flip open the little deal and bump a little oil in there and see if this is the side that actually took any oil, because if I remember correctly, one of them, the oil never soaked to anywhere. Okay, so that's filled up and it's dropping down a little bit, so at least we can get the back earled. Yeah, it's taking a little bit. It's slow to do that. But this is, you know, this is one motor they used for everything, right? So this comes off. This is where they would have put the oscillator and probably a different rotor with the screw. So this is really, they use the same motor for all the larger size fans. And yeah, it's taking a little oil down there. So give it just a little bump more, and then we're going to leave it. That's it. Doing it. Walking away. There you go. Let's see if it runs. So what do? We start on low or we start on high? I think we're going to start on low. It's got a coil. It's got a speed coil, obviously, like so many of these underneath. I never took it apart. I didn't have to rewire the cord because the cord's actually pretty good. It's not brittle or cracked or anything like that. It could use, the next thing for this would be to take the bottom apart, unwind it, rewire to the switch, you know. But never really got that far on this one. But you know, let's give it a try. We'll go to high and see what it does. It does rattle a little bit, and it really could be cleaned a little more. I just kind of wiped the external dust off of it. So anyway. And without further ado, high. before we go to low. This thing's a monster, man. It just moves a ton of air. A little rattly, more than I'd like to see. But made it worse. So there could be this emblem on the front. Let it run a second. Alright, it's warm now. Let's run it to low. As you hear, on low it's much more acceptable. I don't know how slow it'll go. And then, like some of them, once the coil warms up, then the speed will change again. That's what I found with this one. So we'll leave it on low and see what it does. As you can see, it's still slowing down. We don't want it to run too slow. That's what we're worried about. Is it still gummed up and whatever. Let's see what it does. You watch it. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on FME. Will you? You just keep an eye on FME. I'll be right back. A little slow. Should be moving a little faster than that. Still hasn't changed. Should be moving a little faster than that. remember it running a little faster than that, you know. Let's go to off and see how bad the spin down is. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't feel terrible, just running really slow on low. We'd have to go back to previous videos right after we got it going. See if that's about the same, but you can't hear any of what I'm saying because of the two-stroke engines in the background. They're always way louder on the video than they are in person. But I'm not saying anything important anyway, so you're probably all set. Yeah, I don't know about that low, but is it heating up? Let's see what the motor's doing. It's turning around. I mean, it's cool, you know. So I don't, you know, we're gonna be fine. We're not gonna worry about it. You know, it still moves. Oh, close. Gotcha. Still moving air, so that's okay. Let's see what it does. I'll come back if it's going any faster, if it speeds up at all, we'll compare. Yeah, that's changing already. You can hear these little fluctuations. As the breeze moves through the house, it struggles. Yeah, we'll see what it does. So anyway, that's the Mimar. At least it still runs anyway. We'll go back to high for a spin down. Such a monster on high. Fool around on high, that's for sure. So there you go. The blue Mimar. I'm gonna run it a little bit, and I want to get the newer Vornado that we got, the handle, the Uncle Frank handle Vornado. I want to run that here. So that's the point of this one. Anyway, we'll run that too because that's newly found and oiled, and I want to keep an eye on that one as well. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this. Have you anybody owned any of the bigger, the larger size of these that don't have the handle? I'd love to find one. They're very rare, and you don't see them out here where I live. And you didn't even see this, honestly. This came from, I was on the road, and I picked this up off of Craigslist down in the New York area. So this wasn't even up where I am. And I got a pretty good deal on this and one of the other large Vornados. Specifically, this Vornado is one of the larger size ones with the Uncle Frank repairs. So they're both kind of a mess. I got them both for $60, so $30 each on those. That's a pretty good deal for a Vornado and one of those Kenmore. I mean, around here, even in rusty condition, these fans are pretty expensive. So I did pretty good on that, considering. And that's what we're all hoping, right? Just to find a nice fan and not pay too much for it, right? Screw eBay prices. Anyway, so that's the deal. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this one and the Uncle Frank Vornado over there. Have you ever seen one of those Burns Air Kings that has no handle and no feet? Truly a stand fan. How often did that happen? What do you know about stand fans? Rolling, not stand fans, but rolling fans. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right, anyway, this has been a fan video. Thanks for spending your time with us. Peace out.